A lot has happened in the last few months. Junior graduated college and he got a job in Texas, bought his own car, and he's off, starting his life. So I'm left with his old vehicle that I need to fix and sell. Now I provide the kids cars when they're in high school and college, not always the best cars. And over the course of that time, they even get worse. He had a fight here with a parking garage with a pillar, so I got body damage I got to fix. I got mechanical problems with the drivetrain or suspension problems. I need to fix this car and get it ready to sell as soon as I can. I'm kind of up against the clock. The insurance is going to run out next week, and I really don't want to re-up the insurance. So the other things is I keep getting stuck working on these daily drivers when I really want to be working on this stuff, projects. I want to get to my Jeep. I want to get to this Saab. I want to be working on fun stuff, not daily drivers. So I want to get this stuff fixed and get this thing down the road. Now I first need to evaluate what all do I need. Obviously the grill is bad. This fender, I didn't realize this was fiberglass, but it's broken. I think some of this will buff out. And I know this light, he had this light out and it's broken. I need to decide, can this light be JB welded to the retaining parts that are left in there, or do I need to replace it? So I got the light out, and the two places where parts are broke are these little retention knobby doos. And this one here I have everything to fill the hole, and JB Weld, it is really good for that. But this one here, there is sections missing there. I think JB Weld would hold it in there, but section missing means water could get in there. I would rather not do a repair where water can get in there. So, but buying these aftermarket, they're a couple $100. I checked my favorite U-Pick junkyard, and they do have an Aviator. They don't have a lot of these typically, but I am going to run over there, see if they have a headlamp, maybe a fender, grill, see what I can get to put this thing back together on the cheap. And if they don't have a headlamp, I'll proceed with the JB Weld. Well, there it is. It has been customized a bit. But it does have the headlamp that I need. I haven't taken it out to see if it's broken yet. Grill's pretty bad there. But I like the customization here. House of Dank, local marijuana shop. It's good to know that too. All right, I'll get that light up. Yeah, backside looks good. These are the parts that are broken on mine, these two, so I think a lot of this garbage can come off of here. So been peeling some of this stuff off. It's just kind of like the consistency of electrical tape. It's kind of a rubbery black stuff. It leaves some residue, so I'll have to use Goo Gone to get that off, but it's not bad. Just gonna take some time to get off. Somebody's good work. Somebody had a vision of awesomeness. I got it all off. It left a honeycomb pattern. I don't know if you can see that very well, but honeycomb pattern. I don't know how long that was on there, but you know how these lenses tend to weather? It looks weathered. It looks new where the tape was and weathered where it wasn't, but I'm going to use Goo Gone. Well, you know, Goo Gone is citrus-based. I like this citrus-based bike chain degreaser. It's the same thing pretty much as Goo Gone as far as I know, to take off, you know, the stickiness there. We'll just see if I can get that residue off. I got the residue off. You can still see in some lights a honeycomb pattern. I don't know if it shows up on the camera at different angles. Kind of where the UV weathered some but not other. We'll see. I don't know, but it's a good light and it's going on. I realized that some of these connectors are broken, and I should have got those, but I did find another one of my favorite junkyards has an Aviator, and so I'm going to buzz over there real quick, see if I can get a fender and a grill. So I will be right back. I was victorious. I got a grill, looks pretty good. The fender, you know, is not quite the same color. Actually, it's not too far off, but I'm going to want to paint it and then I got this, I cut off several of the connectors, so be able to wire that up. Well, when Junior hit that column and the light came out, it broke a lot of the hard shell connectors. Like this one's completely ripped off. This one, the retainer's broken. So when I was at the junkyard, I did cut off some of these ends so I could replace these. It took me a little while to figure out, though, how to get the actual hard shell connector off, how to back out the, what do you call it? How to back out the terminals, but I figured it out, and I'll just show you one of them. So I pull this little retainer out of here. It's a little white dealio. And then deep inside here, I figured there's just a little retainer. I stick my sharp little screwdriver in here. And probably every car is different, every manufacturer is different, but I just push a little tab in, put a little pressure. Well, I did it once. I don't know if it matters. I want to get him in the right position. So that guy was on the left. This was positioned like this. So the one that I removed, which is from the junkyard, put in the same orientation. Voila, it clicked. Take this little white jobber here. This little retainer thing. Boom. It's interesting how these different wires acted when Junior ran into a column in the parking garage and yanked this headlight out. This one, it broke the bulb off, so I was able to just replace the bulb. This one, it cracked the socket in half, so I was able to replace the socket. And this hard shell was broken too, so I replaced that. This one, the hard shell connector, the retaining tang broke, so we replaced the hard shell connector. And this one, it actually yanked the wires. It broke the wires off inside the hard shell connector. So I can't just replace a hard shell connector because these terminals themselves are broken. So I'm actually going to solder this new one on. I went to the junkyard. I got 2 pigtail connectors in case I ruined one. Okay, moment of truth. I'm going to go turn them on, and could you do me a favor and holler when you see, tell me what you see. First I'm going to go low beam, then I'm going to go high beam, then I'm going to go turn signal. So holler, okay? Here we go. Low beam, what do you see? Uh-huh. All right, here come the brights. Is it on? Okay, good. Now I'm going to go turn signal. I forgot. The turn signals, sometimes they don't work on this stuff. I'm going to go with the hazard. What do you see? Is the hazard working on that side? Uh-huh. All right, well, mission accomplished. So next up, I need to deal with this fender. So I got a replacement fender. So we're going to deal with, we'll paint that and put it on, but I don't know if you can see, this is kind of really scuffed on here, and I'm gonna see if some of my abrasive wax can kind of take that out, and if I can't, I'm not replacing the bumper cover. I think some of it is gouged into the paint, but to the extent I can polish any of it out, I'm gonna at least start with that. I've come to like this Meguiar's Mirror Glaze Dual Action Cleaner Polish. It's got a slight abrasive in it, so it's good at polishing, especially if you've got trying to bring back the shine on something. It's really important to use it on a clean surface, so I just pretend that I did clean this. Figure it says clean or polish, so you know it'll clean and polish. So I put it on there, and I'll wipe it off. It's weird, you can't really see in the camera, you can't really see the scratches that are in here very well. So I tried different angles, see if it could show up nice, and it doesn't. And yeah, it's still super scratched. But some of the areas where it was discolored are gone, but the scratching remains. But I mean, the vehicle's a 2004. People can't expect it to be perfect or anything. At least this doesn't have any rips or tears. You can see pretty big scar there and some scrapes here, but kind of the discoloration's gone. I get that fender fixed, it'll be fine. It'll look real good. Now that we have the grill on and the headlights done, we got to deal with this fender. So I was surprised to see it was fiberglass. But I got one from the junkyard and just need to paint it. Here's the fender I got from the junkyard. It's really good, it's just not the right color. I am going to paint it, and I'll take you through that process pretty fast. As I mentioned before, this is not a how-to video. If you want to know how to paint a fender, go on YouTube and find out. I'm not going to necessarily take you through all that, but I will show you quickly what I'm doing. I did pick up this Duplicolor Perfect Match. It's the exact color of the car. I've used it before on that car, so that's really going to help blend the color in nice. Now that I got it mostly clean, mostly sanded, mostly dried, shoot a coat of primer on there. I especially with the wet sanding wanted to take that stripe off so that there wouldn't be any sort of, so you wouldn't see it or feel it, you know, because this car doesn't have a pinstripe. I wet sanded it again after primering it, and now time for the finished color. The can says to do it in light coats with 10 minutes in between, so there's the first coat. Between coats, I'll remove this fender. I've put on 3 coats. I used a new can and half of this, the remaining half what was left over there. It doesn't look great to me. It looks like there's a lot of variation, but it just may be the way the light's hitting it. I got to take it down and hold it up to the car. I'll bring you in here and see what you think. Now, there's some light playing in different ways. You can see the sheen is different because I haven't clear coated it. You can see between the door and that fender, you know, the door's a lot shinier because the fender's not clear coated. I probably need to clear coat it to see how well it's going to match. It looks, though, to me, the paint looks kind of thin, like it needs more coats. I'm debating, should I give it a little wet sand or... I feel how it feels. Yeah, it feels a little, I think it needs like a little wet sand, maybe like with a 1000 grit, really, really fine, and then clear coat. And then it may match better, but it is what it is. It's a lot better than the crashed one. I hit it with the finest sandpaper I had, which is a 1500 grit wet sand. And I think what I was feeling was variation in the colors, was actually variation in roughness. And there was there's a rough spot through here that when I sanded it, it kind of came out. So I did get some scratches in there. I used 1500 because I wanted to just take off. I didn't want to take off any paint because my cans are empty, and just wanted to polish. So I think the color actually is pretty good. I'm going to clear coat it, and then I bet the match will be just right. But as I said, it will be what it is because this is what I got. That half a can of paint and the clear coat I'm going to use is left over from when I did this panel here, this middle panel, a couple years ago. And it actually, the color's not bad. If you were to go touch it, you'd feel that it's kind of rough. It's rougher than the regular car. But, the match I felt really good about. And so I'm going to hit it with this clear coat and see if we can bring the fender up to that too. This can feels like it's about half full, so I'm just going to give it the best kind of, dusting I can to ensure full coverage. I can always go to the parts store and get more of this. I don't have to special order it like this color, This color had to be special ordered. I think on that back panel I gave it like 2 or 3 or 4 coats of this stuff with some wet sanding in between, trying to get the nicest surface I could get. I went up to O'Reilly and got another can. I figure, if you're going to go this far and do the job, do it right. I want to clear coat it. I want to be able to have a thick enough clear coat I can wet sand it, make it look good. They're saying, if you're going to go up the hill, don't come down with a half a bucket of water. So I'm not gonna. Well, now that I got this corner of the vehicle looking pretty good here, for the most part, better than it was, I do want to clean these headlights up. This one I got from the junkyards, got this hexagon look. They are pretty cloudy, so I want to make it, as attractive to a buyer as possible. So I went on Amazon, bought this headlight restoration kit. I think it's $18, and I'm going to give it a try. It's got basically some oxidization replacement or oxidization removal pads, some sandpaper, and then a new clear coat. So I'm going to go through the process of doing that, see if we can clean these bad boys up. There are a lot of these types of kits on the markets. I bought this one because it was cheap and looked easy. They start with these oxidation remover pads. They got 8 of them in there, so I guess they really want you to do that. So I'll go ahead and do that. They said I should look for it to be yellow. Well, it's turning yellow. It already looks better just from using that oxidation removal thing. But now I gotta wet sand it. I did the wet sanding, and so, this junkyard one came out pretty good. I haven't put the clear on it yet, but I'd really get into it to get some of those nasty hexagons out of there. This one actually came out cloudier. This is the one I didn't replace. Now, I got to confess, I didn't mention this earlier. I had tried this headlight restore process on this vehicle a couple years ago, or a year ago. So this one had the restore process done. It's a different restore process, and it actually didn't last long. So it'd be interesting. Maybe I didn't get all the clear coat off. That one's cloudier. This one from the junkyard, which who knows if it's ever been restored. Looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and put the clear on there. So I'm opening step number 3 here on my headlight restore kit. Their little video says this is the most satisfying part, and I imagine it will be. They say just start from one end and go to the other. They said about a 50% overlap. How's it looking from your point of view? They said wetter is not better, so don't sit there and scrub it. I'm going to just hit this edge though. That's it. Now over to this driver's side, which was pretty cloudy, quite honestly. Be interested to see how it turns out. And here's the finished product. Looking pretty good overall. Now, it costs about $130 to go from this to this. And it's a fun little project. You've got mechanical, electrical, some paint, and some polish. And this is totally the kind of repair anybody watching could do in their own driveway and feel really good about it. Now, Junior did the best job he could to rehabilitate this car back at college. And I was super proud of him. You know, what he lacked in access to junkyards and tools, he made up for with tape and optimism. But now that it's time for me to sell this car, I do need to make it a little more ready for the next customer. And the body is in good enough shape for that. I do still have some mechanical things I need to deal with, and that will be the subject of the next adventure.